The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Siriya Boonlert. Chapter 5. The Quarrel. Outlaws. The harder Tom tried to fasten his mind on his book, the more his ideas wandered. So at last, with a sigh and a yawn, he gave it up. It seemed to him that the noon interval would never come. The air was entirely dead. There was not a breath of air stirring. It was the sleepiest of sleepy days. Away in the flaming sunshine, Cardiff Hill lifted its soft green side through a wealth of heat purple with distance. A few birds fought on lazy wings high in the air. No other living thing were visible except some cows, and they were asleep. Tom had a chance to be free or to have something of interest to do to pass the very time. At last, the morning lessons ended, and Tom fell to begging Dasher. They sat together with an exercise book before them, and Tom gave Becky the pencil and had her hand in his, guiding it, and so created another surprising house. Tom was in heaven. "Do you like rats?" he said. "No, I hate them." "Well, I do too. Live once, but I mean dead ones, to swing around your head with a piece of string." "No, I don't care for rats much. What I like is chewing gum. Oh, I wish I had some now." "Do you?" I asked. "To some will share it." So begging hand Tom his chair, and they sat chewing happily. "Have you ever been to a circus?" asked Tom. "Yes, and my father going to take me again some time if I'm good. I have been to a circus 3 or 4 times, lots of times. I'm going to be a lion tamer when I grow up." "Oh, are you? That will be nice. They look lovely dressed up in uniform." "Yes, that's so, and they get a lot of money, almost $1 a day." Ben Rogers says. "I say, Becky, please tell me that you won't have any friends but me. And then when we're coming to school or going home, you are always walk with me, and I'll choose you at parties, and you choose me. That sounds nice, doesn't it?" "Why?" Emmy, Lawrence, and I. Becky's big eyes told Tom of his mistake, and he stopped it, confused. "Oh, Tom, you like Emmy Lawrence more than me." The child began to cry. Tom said, "Don't cry, Becky. I don't care for her anymore." "Yes, you do, Tom. You know you do." Tom tried to comfort her, but she pushed him away and went on crying. Tom stood about, restless and uneasy. Then he said, hesitatingly, "Becky, I don't care for anybody but you." She did not reply. "Becky, won't you say something?" Becky's tears continued to fall. Tom got out his chief jewel, the brass door handle, and held it out so that she could see me. "Please, Becky, won't you take it?" She struck it to the floor. Then Tom marched off and over the hills and far away, to return to school no more that day. Half an hour later, Tom was disappearing behind window Douglas House and the top of Cardiff Hill, and the school was hardly visible for a way in the village. Below him, he entered a thick wood, picked his way to the centre of it, and sat down under the spreading oak tree. He sat for a long time with his elbows on his knees and his chin in his hands. It seemed to him that life was full of trouble. He remembered a school friend who had died recently. It must be very peaceful, he thought, to lie and sleep and dream for ever and ever, with the wind whispering through the trees and over the grass and flowers of the grave, and nothing to grieve about anymore. If he only had a good Sunday school record, he might be willing to go now as to this girl. He had been very nice to her and had been treated like a dog. She would be sorry some day, perhaps when it was too late. Ah, if he could die just for a short time! Just then the sound of a toy tin horn came fitting through the forest. Tom took off his coat, dragged away some dead branches from behind a rotten log, revealing a bow and arrow, a wooden sword, and a tin horn, and in a moment had seized this thing and leapt away. He soon stopped under the great tree, blew an answering note, and began to tiptoe and look cautiously out this way and that. He said softly to an imaginary company, "Keep still, my merry men, keep hitting till I blow. Joy Harbour now appear dressed and armed as Tom." "Stop!" called Tom, who comes there into Sherwood Forest without my permission. I need no man's permission. Was William that addressed me with such insolence," said Tom, reminding him, for they were using the words of one of their favorite books, The Adventures of Robin Hood. "That famous outlaw? Gary, will I fight you? Guard yourself." They drew their swords face each other, foot to foot, with swords crossed, and began a stern, careful fight. Presently Tom said, "Now you know how to do it. Let us fight further." So they fought farther, breathing heavily and struggling with the work. Soon Tom shouted, "Fall, fall! Why don't you fall?" "I won't. Why don't you fall yourself? You're getting the worst of it." "Why, that's nothing. I don't fall. That's not like that in the book." The book said then with one backhand blow he killed the proud knight. "You have to turn round and let me hit you in the back." It was impossible to contradict the book, so Joe turned, received the blow, and failed. "Now," said Joe, getting up, "you've got to let me kill you. That's fair." "Why, I can't do that. It's not in the book." "Well, I call that very unfair." "Well, Joe, I'll be the sheriff of Nottingham, and you be Robin Hood a little while. Kill me." This was satisfactory. and so these scenes were acted. Then Tom became Robin Hood again and lay dying the blood falling from his neglected wood. And at last Joe, presenting a whole tribe of weeping outlaws, dragged him sadly out and put the bow into his weak hands. Tom said, "Where this arrow falls, they pretty poor Robin Hood." Then he shot the arrow and fell back and would have died, but he landed on some thorns and sprang up too gaily for a dead body. The boys dressed themselves, hid their weapons, and went off, dreaming that they were no outlaws anymore. They said that they would rather be outlaws for a year in Sherwood Forest than President of the United States forever.